Welcome back, everybody. Another podcast with Titan Energy, vertically integrated with Titan Solar Power. It is phenomenal. I have some honored guests in the house. I'm going to start with man to my right, David. You're one of the hungriest dudes ever, and you're one of our leaders. And so I want to give you time to speak, but I just wanted to give you props for never stopping. I think that's actually one good thing about leaders is they never stop casting the vision and driving forward, right? And then man to my left, we have Beryl, one of the best trainers on door knocking, and somebody that will text you at 11 at night and 6 a.m., really letting you know he cares, right? So, and then obviously we have, you guys don't know, we have our SVP, Pistol Pete Winston here in the house. So welcome, guys. Welcome. So this podcast is going to be a little bit about leadership. And, as we continue to grow, we want to make sure that our leaders lead. So I guess we'll start this. We're going to start with you, Beryl. So Beryl, I've seen you go from somebody that's brand new in the space to a setter, to a closer, and to a leader that has really just been phenomenal. What is one piece of advice for brand new leaders coming into the space?
Being prepared, having all of your stuff together. What it does is it gives reps a really good experience by having all of their knowledge and all of the syllabus and all that they need in order to be successful. If you don't have your act together and you're just winging it, it's going to come off that way, and it's not going to be set in stone, and expectations aren't going to be there, and people are just going to fizzle out.
I love that. I do believe that. And I'd say one of the things that really separate you from a lot of other leaders is you literally put up numbers. You knock the doors, you lead from the front, you put up the sales, you rally the troops. And so if we really think about it, we're all standing here today as American citizens, but at one time we would have been colony, British citizens. We were unmatched, we were down 10-1 basically. And our leaders said, we're going to fight from the front. Our generals, George Washington and a lot of generals, fought from the front, while the biggest military in the world at the time, the English, their leaders fought from the tents. So that's the difference really from being a leader as opposed to a boss. A leader leads from the front. They take the bullets first, so the people behind them don't have to take the bullets. And so if I'm going to give any advice to any new person, be prepared to get kicked in the teeth, take the bullet, so the people that follow you trust you, that you're gonna fall on the sword and you're gonna lead them into the promised land. So speaking of promised lands, David,
yes.
You have came into the space and you are a massive recruiter. How do you cast a vision for people to get bought in? Because that's one thing that I've seen in your people. When I talk about, I said, there's a lot of people in our organization now, and I don't get the chance to meet everybody. But when I do, I said, who brought you in? And they're like, David, man, that dude is intense. He's relentless. How do you cast a vision from a stranger on the street that has no solar experience to come in, drop what they're doing, and literally dive into what we're creating?
Well, I just believe in, helping other people. I've always been that way, and I always believe, you reap what you sow in life. It's a Bible verse that I believe when I was a kid, and since then, when I help somebody, we help each other. It's teamwork. It's not about me, it's about everyone. So taking somebody with no experience and showing them how to do things is the way I was taught, and I just believe God blesses us with that, and I've been blessed to be here, to be with other leaders that does the same thing. And it's important for me to put my effort and time into them, because I want them to duplicate that process, the law of duplication. When they do that, this is how we build really stronger. And I've always had that warrior mentality since I was a kid.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, go out there and just dominate. And it helps that you do dominate. And I think one lack in the space is people will say they're leaders, but they don't actually go out and lead. They're, I don't want to say pencil pushers, right? Because that's a little old school, but they haven't knocked the door in a long time. They're not current with what's happening. It's always, why can't you do more? Instead of showing them how to do more. We don't tell, we show, follow me, I'll follow you, you do what I do, and I'll make sure you do what I do.
That's true.
Right. So, Pistol, man of the hour here. You don't stop. So tell me, like, how do you do it? Like, you literally, in terms of leadership, there's not one person that works harder than you do. And a lot of times we have conversations at 11 o'clock at night. I'm sorry, honey. And 5 a.m, right when I wake up. So how do you, like, what drives you to work, 18-hour days?
I love to build. I really love to passionately build something from the ground up. And what we're doing here is epic. I mean, putting together so many leaders in one space and taking all the good out of all our experiences in the past and taking all that energy and putting into one force where we could do it the right way, that excites me and it makes me not want to sleep. The little bit I sleep, I'm dreaming about what we're going to do when we awaken. And that makes me wake up and not want to sleep anymore because we have so much passion for what we're building here. And I think that defines great leaders too, is I think we're all builders and we're excited to build.
Yeah, no, I love it. So basically it's grit, right? Amen. Grit. Like when things don't go right, when things don't go right, you make a call. And whether that call is the right call or not, you make that call and you adjust. And so I believe we're the kind of leaders, and I hope I'm not wrong, but we're the kind of leaders that will literally jump out of an airplane that's crashing and will build a parachute on the way down.
Amen.
Right?
For sure.
You're not incorrect.
Yeah, like that's just what it takes. So Beryl, when we don't, like, I think in this job, if you win 100 days out of 365, you are a top earner in this space, right? And I mean, 100 days winning is getting to sell 100 days out of 365. So when things don't go right out in field, because you're one of the best, like, door knockers I've ever seen, relentless on the doors. When things don't go right and you work 8-9 hours a day and you don't get a bill with an appointment, how do you come back the next day?
You just have to keep pushing forward. It's a numbers game. You have to know that going into it. You're just looking for the people that are interested, that are receptive to our help and what we could do for them. So you just move on. I look at it this way, that you got all of the no's out in one day, and that the rest of the week is going to be a nice, successful week, and you have to have that positive attitude or else it'll just kill you. So just keep moving forward, keep being positive, having that grit, having that tenacity, and just, water off a duck's back. Just keep moving forward.
I love that. Yeah, I think a lot of times leaders will have a lot of self-doubt, and they'll allow that to cripple them. And if they allow that to cripple them, they're not serving themselves, they're not serving their family, they're not serving the people that choose to follow them, because this is a volunteer army, right? No one's putting a gun to your head, said you have to sell solar. Now, it's better for the environment, right? It's better for the environment. We all know that. But it's a volunteer army. And so we always have to be servant leaders. And so, Pete, what does servant leadership mean to you?
Servant leadership means for me that I'm available 24/7, 365 to help others. I work for everybody else. My position, I'm here to serve everybody else and work for everybody else. I want to, rather than pull them, I do want to lead from the front, but I also want to help them, give them a leg over the fence, so to say, to make sure that they're successful. So I want to be the last one standing before everybody else gets over the fence before I do.
Yeah, I love it, right? Because I would say maybe we're built from a different cloth, where we'll get in the mud and we'll be able to take more pain than the normal person. So, speaking of high pain tolerance and door knocking, right? How do you overcome, because you recruit quite a bit, right? How do you overcome people telling you no when you present them the opportunity?
There is a no. There's never a no.
Okay.
I'm motivated to turn that no into a yes. I mean, the way I look at it is their success is what I need to do. If they fail, it's because of my failure. I just look at it this way: we're all energy, and if I can input my energy into them, I believe they can push themselves to levels they can never imagine. That's just the way I am. If I can do it, you can do it. I just got to get them to believe that inner spirit out of them, which most people have it in them. I just know how to get it out of them.
Wow.
For sure.
I love it. So energy, right? This job is all about energy.
Sure.
right? So I guess maybe passion for what we're doing, because I know there's some leaders that are in this space just for a paycheck. And they won't last long. They won't have a following for very long. It's very low level leadership. And so I guess, how did you fall in love, David, with the passion around solar? Everything that we possibly could sell direct to consumer, how did you fall in love with the passion of solar?
I've always thought about solar when I was a kid. To me, God is energy. We are all spiritually embraced by an energy within. And when I look up, I'm like, why are we paying electricity when we're getting it free from the man above? And I'm a spiritual, godly person. I believe if I can just lift somebody's spirit, they can do things that they can never dream of. They just need somebody else to go and push them. And I believe God gave me intuition to give that gift to other people, and that's what I like doing, and I enjoy it. It's not about the money, it's about the opportunity. But what comes with that is rewards and blessings, and I just think it's been working great for me.
Yeah.
And for others.
Dang, man. Woo. Dang, dude, you got me all hyped right now. So Pete, so speaking about not about the money, we all know that if you go help, a lot of people get what they want, you're going to get what you want in return. So how did you make the shift from it's not about me, it's about we? Because I think that's next level leadership. How'd you go from me to we?
Well, it's something that we want to, it actually is a me. It fulfills me to know that I'm helping others. Now that I've reached the top through the trenches and built my way up and being a servant leader, I want the same for others. And that makes me feel really good. Yeah. And it also makes me feel good to know that when I was, climbing up the ladder, I wished that someone was there to help me. So I want to be all those things that were not there for me. I want to keep it real, and I want to embrace other people's interest coming into our space and enable them to have as much success as some of our great leaders, such as you and David and Beryl and myself and everybody else in our organization. So there's a passion for them to be part of our club of success. And with that, money, you're right, like you said, money is a byproduct. We're all here because this makes us feel good. We're in an industry, it's a feel-good industry. We're helping the environment. We're helping the planet. And we're helping the families that we enroll, and we're helping people in our industry have a career and fulfill their why. And there's nothing more exciting than that.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. Beryl, why did you want to become a leader in this space? You could have been one of the most well-paid closers in the space. What made you go from barrel focus to, servant leadership?
I think I had I don't want to say gift, but I did have a knack. I did have a bit of a talent for understanding why certain things worked and the psychology behind it, and able to break it down and share it with others in a way that I had to figure out myself, that I could break it down for them and just fast track them to the next spot. I love educating others. I love sharing with others the way. So to me, it's like it is a way of giving back and helping them and getting to the next level and seeing their life go from, I don't know if I could do this, to, wow, you got to a whole nother level of competency, and now this person could provide from themselves just based on the training that I put with them and the time I put with them, and now they have a whole new life and all the things that come from that, just from the influence that I could have on somebody.
Yeah, and I think not being a leader makes you greedy in some way, because when I look at my story and somebody trusted like me, some kid from small town Oregon, on a train, and gave me an opportunity and invested in me, and I wanted to be like them so much. I wanted to be like them and emulate them as much as possible. If somebody wouldn't have done that, then I couldn't go and do that for other people. So it's like paying it forward, right? Because I've had a lot of losses in life and a lot of losses in business. And so if I could take my losses and help them create more wins, they're going to win faster and more often. And when I started this space direct to consumer 14 years ago, you were selling alarms, so we're making $200 an alarm. We've came a long ways. And so there's nothing I love more than solar. There's nothing more I love leading others. And let me ask you this, Pete. Do you believe that leaders are born, or are they made?
I think that leaders are made. I think that if not everybody is for leadership, But if people gain a passion for helping others and have a skill set that they have acquired and they have the work ethic to lead from the front, then we can make a leader out of most everyone that's out there. So we can make a leader.
Yeah, you go from selfish to selfless.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And I can't reiterate this enough. You have to lead from the front or no one will respect you in this space.
Yeah.
Right. That is down to the core. And so if you're a leader and you're listening to this, if you're a leader and you are leading others by telling them what to do, not physically showing them how to do it, you're doing leadership wrong. Can we all agree?
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. So I believe, right, and I know this group here, if somebody calls you at 4 a.m. and their car is broken down, would you guys hesitate to drive to them and help them fix their car?
Not at all.
It happens. We do it now.
Yeah.
Done it 3 weeks ago
Yeah. Yeah.
to Miami.
It's monthly.
Yeah. There's always some problems, right? Yeah. There's always some problems, some fires.
We got to take care of our own.
Yep.
That's what we do.
Okay. Yeah. So as leaders, I guess, Beryl, how do you take care of yourself? Because I think sometimes I don't say abuse ourselves, but we put ourselves last. It's almost like the parent-child. I hate to say that, but like I will do everything for my child. I'll lose sleep for my child, right? But also sometimes somebody's a baby in the space and you're trying to get them to a full adulthood running. So how do you make sure that you have time for yourself as a leader so you can do this long term?
Big thing, getting up early, making time for that in the mornings. Yeah. I find is best when a lot of the reps are asleep. So going to the gym, eating right, organizing your day. I like music. I like playing guitar. So I'll do that in the mornings, and then once it's about 8:30, it's go time. That's when time I have to be available for my team. So making that time in the mornings is really important.
Yeah. So recently, I've discovered the 5 a.m. club.
Love it.
Yeah, and so it's funny. It's like I go out and I go running, and I get in like at 7 a.m. and I'm like, whoo, man, I'm tired. My wife's just getting up, right? And you get that quiet time, and it's almost that time for you that you can reflect, go over what you're gonna do. So I guess Pete, what do you do when your feet first hit the floor?
My feet first hit the floor in the morning, and I'm embracing the morning. I'm embracing the day. I love that time in the morning. I'll get up. First thing I'll do is I'll get ready to have a walk. I want to keep moving every day. Do something for me. So I'll have a nice cup of coffee and I'll go for a nice walk for 30 minutes every morning. And I look at the stars. I look at the sky. I talk to God a bit. I remember how grateful I am for everything I have. I reset my whole mind, body, and soul early in the morning. Then I jump in the pool or the hot tub, and then I start my day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
You got to have that ritual every morning for you, but really it's resetting my mind and reminding myself how grateful I am and what a great opportunity we have, how blessed we all are. And I just love the mornings. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's all for ourselves. So I too have discovered the 5 o'clock in the morning club, and it is a great club.
Yeah. No, it's silent, especially right now. It's dark out. Man, I love it. Absolutely love it.
See some stars, the moon.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So I guess I say one thing that leaders do fail new leaders fail with is IPAs, income producing activities. Man, I don't know what it is. And but whatever it is, 20% of our top producers. Wait, let me read that. So, let's see where we're at. Okay, so IPA, income producing activities, right? And I think a lot of new leaders struggle with what's the most good, your time. You only have 24 hours in a day, so what is gonna award you the most amount of time with money opportunity? And I feel like that the bottom 20% takes up 80% of our time, right? It should be the other way around. The top 20% should take up 80% of our time, but typically they have things figured out. And I have a rule. I'm going to come back to the 20% taking 80% of your time, but I have a rule. I call it the 10-80 rule. 10% of the people are just your high performers. You don't ever have to tell them anything. Right? And then you have your 80%ers that have their problems. And your goal is to try to get as much in that top 10% as possible to make it 11 or 12 or 13, get that 80%ers into that goal, into that 10%. So now you have like a 15 and 55%. But then the bottom 10%. So in this case, let's say 20%. How do you dictate your time? Because it always seems, Beryl, that the bottom 20% takes up all your time. How do you tell them no?
So it's funny that you say that, because this has just happened to me this past week, and I've kind of realized what I need to do with it. So having high standards. So a common thing that I get is, oh, could I go knocking with you? I want to shout at you. I want to see how you do things on the doors. And in the past, I would do it, and I would take out some reps that don't really amount to anything, and I kind of knew that, but just had trouble saying no. So now going into it, I say, okay, well, is your script memorized? They'll be like, oh, well, I looked over it. You got to memorize the script, then you can come out with me. Can't come out prior to that. So having different standards like that, it kind of guards me and protects me to the point where when somebody says, no, I have the script memorized, kind of go, okay, this person's probably worth my time. Let's go out. Let's come out tomorrow, or let's go out today, depending on what time they call.
Yeah. No, you're right, because we have all the tools, right? We have our digital business card platform, Rep Card. We have our door knocking platform. We have our door-to-door university, a partner with Sam Taggart. So we have all the tools. The one thing that really gets me, and feel free to speak up, but one thing that really gets me is that reps that don't want to do the work before the actual work. They just want to go out for 4 or 5 hours and wing it. Right. And I'm like, no, half of the game is not just getting mentally ready, but it is actually knowing your pitch, right? Knowing how to overcome objection, doing the work before the work actually starts, right? We look at basketball stars. They just don't play the game of basketball. They practice. And if you want to be able to close the gap, you practice. So, Pete, what are some ways that reps and leaders, actually, anybody listening to this, that can close the gaps to be able to produce more and get more of their time back?
They just have to get on a regimented schedule with a clear daily process. And they have to just put themselves out there, whether it be a rep or a leader. They have got to commit to this career. It is a blessed career. What career other than ours do we have the chance to help ourselves, help the families we enroll, and help this beautiful planet? There's no other career like this on the planet. We get to do that. So we have got to discipline ourselves. We have got to get out there and have a process and non-negotiables. Like myself, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock, like Beryl says, at 8:30, he's ready. It's go time. Approximately 8:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, I'm go time. There's no negotiating that. And I'm on my agenda. I have a calendar. I have a schedule. I keep it. I don't negotiate with that every day. There's no negotiating.
Yeah, the holy hours, right? The holy hours. When the sun's up, you're up. When it goes down, you're in homes, right? That's it. You're recruiting or you're in homes. That's it. So it's called a win-win-win, right? You're right, Pete. Where else can we, win for the environment, win for us, win for the family? A win-win-win. And there's no money out of pocket. Usually it's savings from day one. And by doing that, we're able to make thousands, right? Like, we are absolutely blessed. And when you feel grateful, you can never feel fearful. You can never feel sad, mad at the same time. Those emotions do not align. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time coming down and chatting with us as we continue to build out Titan Energy, vertically integrated with Titan Solar Power. Like, man, I cannot wait to see the next 6 months, year. I can't wait to have, 40, 50, 60 different leaders. And that's from you guys out there creating and duplicating yourself. So I just wanted to say thank you for spending some time. We're going to go put this out. We're going to go give value to the world, and people are going to realize what we're doing and what we're creating here. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, gentlemen.